I've had this UPS for about a week now, and today's the day we're actually gonna get around to rack mounting it. Not quite using it, but we're gonna get it up there. This is the Eaton 5PX 1500RT. Made a video about this a long time ago, this model anyway, a long time ago. If you wanna check that out, there's a link for it. But before we can install it, we gotta shut down one of the servers and also make some room for it so we can slide it in on there with its brother. So let's go ahead and do all that. All right, so the goal here is basically going to be just getting all of these moved up. We may actually even just dismount this one permanently. I haven't used it in a long time. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it anymore, especially now that I have the Ryzen 3 700X. So we may just dismount this one completely and not even use it anymore, but nonetheless, we gotta move these up so we can fit the Eaton UPS here at the bottom, and it's 2U, so that's kind of important that we like have enough space for it. And yeah, I don't know, we'll figure it out from there. All right, it should be enough space to work, and probably need to dust this a little bit. It's not too bad shape, but a little cleaning won't hurt. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're just gonna remove this one for now, and we're gonna move this one up, and then that way we have to do the least amount of changes, remove the rails, and we'll figure out what we'll do this server at a later time. All right, we're gonna take this opportunity to actually clean the server rack a little bit better than I normally would, since it's all the way out and everything's powered off. And we're just gonna use a vacuum for that because that's easiest. Hashtag totally not sponsored by a very popular brand of vacuum cleaners that every YouTuber and their mother has that I don't. All right, we're just gonna stick this UPS on the very bottom because, I don't know, it'll fit there. Ooh. There is absolutely nothing precarious about this UPS sitting up here like this. Here we go. Home sweet home. I think the rack's gonna look something like this for now. We may move this down. Actually, we should just move this down since we're already doing all this work. So that way, if I need to get inside of it, I can just pull it out a little bit and open the top case and access things in the interior. We're gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do. Just gonna pop a few of these nuts in and we'll be good to go. Wow. There we go. These are nade point rails. They're pretty okay. I wish they were sliding rails. These are just static rails. Not too big of a deal because I typically don't move the server around very often, or not often enough to care. But you get what you pay for, I suppose. They are pretty okay. All right, let's get our Unraid server put back. So this is basically our 24/7 mission critical server that does everything around the house. Actually, let's remove these nuts first, and then we'll push it all the way back. Hey, Joe, pee-pee. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. So I'm thinking for storage purposes, we'll move the 1U shelf up. We'll put the 4U server on here just to hold for a while until I can figure out what I need to do with it, which I think it's time to get rid of it. I don't need it anymore. It uses a lot of power. So we're gonna move this 1U shelf up, and we need to leave space because I am gonna put a 1U server back in here. The key item, or I guess the regulars among you already noticed that there's one server missing here and the other one's missing. So yeah, those are both de-racked as well. All right, well, in theory, that 4U server should sit right in here. We're not gonna put the rails up because that would make it just a little bit taller because they're not sliding rails, they're static rails. So we're just gonna stick it right on top of this server and then whatever, it'll be fine. Well, that was one tight fit. This thing has literally no space, and I actually scratched it up a little bit, but that's all right. So you can see scratch marks right here where it's literally squeezed so tightly under this that it barely fit. It's only temporary, not a big deal. But at least we can put our 1U server in here and we have space for that. And I think that pretty much wraps up that. So what's left? This is what it looks like all said and done for now. We aren't gonna plug it in, so this cable is just gonna be kind of dangling here for a little while until we can route it up this wall and behind this panel. I gotta do a project where all of these cables that you see here are actually gonna go up into the wall and behind the server rack, or the network rack. And there's two UPSs here. There's one UPS here, another one up there. Now that we have this bad boy, we're gonna get rid of that one and the other UPS that's hidden behind this door. Yeah, and this other CyberPower UPS. So there'll be just networking equipment and all that will be gone. But unfortunately, I am not ready to do that today. So this is what we're gonna roll with for a little while until we can find time to do the other project. Well, that pretty much wraps up this video. There's not really much else to talk about. Like I said before, we made 2 videos about this UPS. This one specifically, there's one, and then the other one that was in the rack, there's an even older one. So if you wanna know more about those, you can check that out with the links. And we will definitely get back in there and reconfigure all of the power as well as the configuration of the entire network stack and the server stack and figure out what we're gonna do with that other server later. And with all that being said, I think that's all that there is to say about this video. That's all that's left to say. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I will see you guys all soon on the very next video, whenever that may be. Peace.